Very welcome to the Finance Commission that we are going to discuss, and in the next 10 minutes you will understand the Finance Commission, 16th Finance Commission in entirety. Also, we are going to solve some previous year question in the end. So don't miss, continue the video till the end because UPSC is going to ask questions from here and I will show you how UPSC is asking questions. So these topics are very important for prelims as well as for mains. Almost sure short topic. Okay, so next 10-15 minutes is very important. Now let's understand why we are discussing Finance Commission, because recently the Finance Commission, the 16th Finance Commission report was tabled in the Parliament. Now, what exactly is the Finance Commission? It's a body, it's a constitutional body under Article 280 of the Constitution, which suggests that how much revenue should be given from the Government of India to the state government. So broadly, there are three functions of the Finance Commission. The first is tax devolution, which means Finance Commission will tell that how much money of the revenue of the central government should be given to the state government in vertical form or in the horizontal form. So vertical form, question come why we are giving the revenue to the state government, because by design central government has more power to tax, and by function the state has to deliver more on ground in terms of law and order, education, healthcare, so they need more revenue. And India is basically a quasi-federal system. So to balance the fiscal federalism so that states are empowered and they are able to meet their needs, the concept of tax devolution, the first function of Finance Commission was done. So first function is tax devolution, where Government of India, let's say Government of India collects 100 rupees of the tax, 41 rupee will go to the states. So it will go to the state. Now which state will get how much money? How much money? That will be divided between state 1 versus state 2 versus state 3. So for example, which state which gets how much money, that will be decided based on the formula of the horizontal devolution. Okay, so there are 6 criteria in this, we'll also understand. The second is, because Government of India has revenue access, they have to give certain grants to the state government under Article 275 of the Indian Constitution. And third is, how do we empower the local bodies, the Panchayati Raj institutions and urban local body? And here, based on the recommendation of State Finance Commission, the Finance Commission will suggest how to augment the consolidated fund of the state so that the local bodies and Panchayati Raj are strengthened. Because this is the third tier of government and they are equally important, and they empower the government at local level through the concept of democratic decentralization. So this is the concept of Finance Commission, the primary 3 functions. Then there are secondary functions also. For example, Finance Commission will also suggest how the finances of the government should be managed or controlled following the principle of fiscal prudence. Now here you have a concept of the states. For example, states, the Finance Commission has said, and remember, the Finance Commission recommendations are not mandatory. Government might follow, might not follow. But since Government of India makes this committee on their own, it is very important that they understand the importance of this community commission and they follow that. Now, the state government, there is a deficit cap. So state government have to have a GSDP of 3%, which means the deficit cannot cross 3% of the state domestic product. Then they have also suggested that off-budget borrowing. So the state government should not take money outside the budgeting system. So this is another recommendation which Finance Commission has given. And for union government, the deficit should be 3.5% by the end of the period. Now, when you look at the Finance Commission is headed for a 5-year term from 1st April to 2031, 5-year, and it is headed by the Arvind Panagaria. Now, there are other members also, they are involved. So broadly, these are major functions of the Finance Commission. Now coming to the other parts of the Finance Commission approaches, for we need to understand how are the things. So first, the concept of fiscal devolution that we discussed, and here the Finance Commission will suggest 41% of the revenue goes to the state government, from central government to the state government. But here there is very important concept. Only taxes are taken. The cess and surcharge. Now remember, Government of India also collects taxes from cess and surcharge. That is excluded. Now this part is very important. Then this year in 27, state governments are going to have 1.4 trillion money from the grants. Similarly, there is a 5-year implementation window which will be there, and the support for local bodies also we have discussed. So 41% is very important, that has to be seen. So these are the major functions of Finance Commission that we have to understand. Okay, apart from that, there are disaster corpus. So how do we strengthen the state disaster response fund or state disaster mitigation fund? And here Finance Commission has suggested that 2.04 lakh crore will be given, and 75-25 will be for normal state, which means 75% will be given by the central government and 25 by state government, and here 90-10 for the local bodies. For the special category states. Okay. Now question comes that we have understood that which money should be given. Now 41% should be given as per the formula of horizontal devolution. Vertical devolution. Now let's understand the concept of horizontal devolution. Now which money should be given to which, how much money should be given, that has to be decided based on the formula of the horizontal devolution. So किस state को कितना पैसा मिलेगा, and for that we have to understand, and for that the third infographic will be more suitable. So vertical devolution means the 41% will be given to the state. Now which state will get how much, that will depend on the multiple criteria, and here there are 6 criteria. So let's say 100 rupees collection tax by central government, 41 rupees go to the state government. Now which state government will get how much money, that will be 6 criteria. The first is income distance. Income distance means based on the per capita income of the state. Now state which has less per capita income, they will get more revenue as per the Finance Commission grants. The second is population. 2011 population is taken. The third is contribution to GDP. Now contribution to GDP means that if you're contributing more to the GDP, Finance Commission will consider that. And fourth is demographic performance. So demographic performance broadly means that the states which have controlled their population should be prioritized and their effort should be considered. Then the fourth is area, which means the bigger the state, more revenue, the smaller the state, less revenue. And the forest ecology, which means the states which have invested in the forest ecology or sustainable development, they will also be based, the grants or the revenue, the devolution will be based on that criteria. But broadly there are two concepts which I believe you need to understand. And one is this is a new term that has been added, which was not there in the previous Finance Commission. So the southern states like Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, Kerala, they always complain that we are getting less revenue in spite of we are contributing more to the GDP. So Finance Commission has taken that into consideration and they have added this term, contribution to GDP. Because they are contributing more to the tax, they should be getting weightage for that. Also demographic performance wise, the states have been able to control their population in a better manner. So these are the two major criteria which are mainly supportive to the developed states. But other criteria are mainly helping the states which are relatively poorer or the states which are not doing so well, because the grants or revenue that is given to the state government, that will also depend on the level of development of these states. So biggest criteria is 42.5% for that level of development. So that is how the entire concept of the Finance Commission can be there. One more very important concept, the concept of grants by the local body. Now this, I want you to understand this and see this image. So broadly, what are the functions? Tax devolution, just to think in your mind, tax devolution. Second is grant in aid. Third is how do we augment the local body's resources? And fourth is fiscal consolidation. And fifth is disaster management. Other function can also be there, but these are major functions. But in the third function, how much money should be given to the local body? And for that, you have to have a formula. So local body grant distribution will depend on, so let's say Government of India gives 100 rupees to the local body. Now 80% of that would be basic. Out of that 100 rupees, the 60% will be to the rural area and 40% to the urban area. Out of the 60%, 80% will be based on the basic approach, which means that these are unconditional grant, unconditional. But 20% would be based on the performance, which means the states which are performing better should be given incentive based on this. So that is how it can be understood that these are the an allocation criteria for grants. Now here again UPSC might ask questions. Similarly for in the urban local body you have 80-20 here also, 20% performance based and 80% basic. So these grants distribution formula are very important because that empowers the government, the local bodies, and the focus is more on the performance. That means if you're performing better, you will get the benefits accordingly. Okay, then there are how much money will be given, all that formula is there. You can go through the data. Remember, all the students who are, I'll share this PDF in the Edge Learning Hub community. The WhatsApp link is given, you can go there. Okay, now coming to the criteria. Now I want also, now again next 1 minute is very important because UPSC will ask questions on the criteria. Now when look at the criteria, so these are the major criteria of the 16th Finance Commission that we have discussed. 42.5% based on income distance, 17.5% based on population, contribution GDP 10%, demographic performance 10%, area 10%, forest ecology 10%. But these are the criteria which were there in the previous finance commission, which means what is the new entry? Contribution to GDP. This was not there in the previous finance commission. So 15th finance commission, you can see the numbers have changed. Now UPSC might ask and compare. Now this is a new addition that we have to understand. So this is what I'm trying to tell you. Read this and to be able to, because UPSC will ask questions very intricately in detail. Also, revenue deficit grant has been ended. Now, state used to get grants based on revenue deficits. Now, that will also not be given. Okay. So, these are the formulas and understanding. I hope I have cleared everything. Now, there are some challenges. Just one more minute, then we'll solve the MCQs. Now, what are the challenges? Now, when you look at the challenges, one of the challenge of the various state government is that now government of India is giving revenue from the tax, but they're not giving revenue from the cess and surcharge. So divisible pool is not 41%, but rather it is even lesser. Hardly 29-30% revenue is given to the state government. Second is prosperity paradox. Prosperity paradox means the states which are doing well, performing well, population is controlled, they are contributing more to the GDP, maybe Tamil Nadu, Gujarat, Karnataka. These states have a feeling that we are contributing, but we are not getting the benefit. We are developing, but the benefits is going to the states which are not doing so well. Okay, so population control they have done sustainable development, they have been able to control the demographic transition, and in spite of being prosperous state, they are not getting the benefits. Rather, the revenue collected by them is going to the state government, other state government. Then demographic shifting. One of the other concern is where the states are also saying that the states which have the population is stabilizing or going down, that we are facing a problem of more population in the future, less population in the future, but at the same time our population will be aging. Aging population means that we need to take care of the older population. Now that will happen in the next 5-10 years. And of course the ecological federalism, where the concern of the state is that the states which have done well on the sustainable development, they feel that their consideration should also be taken into inputs. So these are the basic criteria that we have to understand. Go through this document. It will cover almost everything that you require in the exam. I don't think so you'll get questions out of beyond these for the prelims as well as the mains. Okay, so that completes the concept of finance commission. This PDF will be shared and you can go through this PDF in detail. Now coming to the PYQs. Now next 5 minutes, there are 4 PYQs that I'm going to discuss here. So first PYQ, let's understand. Question number 1. Now this question came last year, 2025. Now look at this question. Which of the following statement with regard to recommendations of the 15th Finance Commission are correct? It has recommended a grant of 4,800 crore from the year 2023, incentivize states to enhance educational outcome. Okay. 45% of the net proceeds of union taxes are to be shared with states. 45%. This has never happened. Only 41% has to be shared, remember. So this statement is wrong. We already know this statement is wrong. One, we don't know. 45,000 crore is to be kept as a performance-based incentive for all states for carrying agricultural reform. Again, there is no data. We don't know because this is a minor data. And it's introduced tax effort criteria to reward fiscal performance. Now, this statement is right because states which are doing better for tax collection, they have been regarded. But when you look at this option, because there's so much of data, very difficult to remember the data. But nice, UPSC has made these statements complex, but options are very easy. You eliminate 2 options. If you eliminate 2 options, the C would be the answer. So we don't have to use your brain. Just one statement eliminate, you'll get the answer. Even though it might look a very tough question in terms of a lot of data and fact, but you can easily come to the conclusion. So this has been done just to check your understanding how UPSC might ask question. So very easily C is the answer. You can go through the solution. I'll share this PDF as well. Now second is in 2 years ago, in 2023, the question was asked. Now these are 5 parameters. For the horizontal tax devolution, 15th Finance Commission used how many of the above criteria other than population and the income distance? Now remember, we saw the table. Just look at this. Demographic performance was there? Yes. Forest ecology was there? Yes. Tax and fiscal effort was there? Yes. Governance and stable government reform? No. This is not a direct this thing. So naturally here, B would be the answer. Now here for that, as I mentioned, go to the table, comparison, data, fact, and it will take few minutes to understand this, but you can easily solve the question based on that. So stable governance reform and stable government is not the criteria. You can go through the solution in detail. Forest ecology, demographic performance, tax and fiscal effort, these are three criteria. Apart from that, income, distance, area and population control were the criteria for the Finance Commission grants. Governance, reform and stable government were not used. They appeared in terms of reference but not in the final formula. Now, next question. With reference to 14th Finance Commission, now this question came in 15. Which of the statement is correct? It has increased the share of state from the divisible pool from 32 to 42%. This statement is right. In fact, in the 14th Finance Commission, Government of India is giving more revenue to the state government. It has made recommendation concerning sector-specific grant. Sector-specific grant was not recommended. This was the data. Again, आपको नहीं पता होना चाहिए question because this is the old question. We are going to be more concerned about 16th Finance Commission vis-a-vis 15th Finance Commission, the comparison part. So here A is the answer very simply. But the people who have studied this topic around that time should be able to solve it. In fact, I gave this prelims examination and I was able to solve it. The next question is again maybe in 14. Which of the following are associated with planning in India? The first is Finance Commission, second is Development NDC. Now, you can easily know that which bodies are not involved in planning. Finance Commission is not involved in planning. It is a recommendation body, how revenue of the central government should give into the state government. So one is out, and moment one is out, you have C as an answer. Okay, others also can be seen. The parliament is also there as a planning body, and these are ministries, rural development, urban development. These are executing body, they are not a planning body. Okay, so this is how the UPSC might ask questions. The idea behind these questions for you to understand, remember, don't worry about the fact and data and content. Focus about the context. What kind of questions can be asked? And today in the inner, and if you want to know further, come to my inner circle session, and there I'll be discussing these things in detail. And believe me, if you just follow them, you're going to clear prelims without any overwhelming fear. Okay, do like the video, subscribe to the channel, and reach out to us for any concern. Good wishes. Bye.